Alrighty, Trishan. So I wanted to thank you for coming in today. I wanted to know, what are your personal preferences as far as your name? Do you have any nicknames that you would prefer to go by, or
I just call me Sean.
Sean? Okay. Alrighty then, Sean. Well, I am Melissa Murphy. I'm going to be your counselor and therapist for this journey. You can refer to me as Melissa. I don't know if you have any preliminary questions before we get started, or you're just kind of ready to get into everything.
Let's get ready to give it to everything.
Alright, no problem. Just a brief disclaimer. In the event that you would share something that would possibly or potentially cause harm to yourself, or that would indicate that you would want to cause harm to yourself, these are the kind of things that I may have to share externally in order to protect yourself and others. Is that okay? Is that understood?
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. Okay, well, can you tell me what brought you in today to come and see us?
So, this is my first year in grad school, and I feel like everything just is not going as planned. Like, with school, and it just, I feel like everything is not, it's not falling in place how I thought it would be. First year, coming in motivated, that I'm going to do everything, pass with C, but so like I'm getting up with low C's and D's and almost an F, and it's really just, it's taking it hard because I feel like I'm going to fail, like I'm not going to graduate, and be on probation, and, I came out this way, and I don't want to give up, but it's just like it's so hard, and so I get down on myself, and it just, I want to get so to a point where, like, I don't know, I just want to get to the point where I just break it and just, I want to keep going, but I don't know what it is, and I feel like I need some guidance, to get back to the point where I was at first, motivated to take care of, what I was doing before.
Okay. So you were coming into grad school, you were feeling strong, feeling motivated, and along the way you're just seeing that your grades are not necessarily reflecting that motivation that you feel, getting C's and D's, and you're starting to feel discouraged, a little bit of anxiety. Is that right? So far? Okay. So you're just feeling like you're not going to graduate and things like that. Alrighty then. And then what do you feel in those moments when you're feeling like you're not going to graduate, or let's say you get like an exam back, and the grade wasn't good? What are those feelings in those moments? Can you take me to a place like that?
I just feel down, and anxiety started kicking because I feel like it's all on me. Like I don't know what it is, but I just feel like it's myself that I caused that, that wasn't able to pass it, or maybe I didn't study as hard enough, or maybe I didn't do enough research, and I just bring it back to me. When I just back to myself, I could have did better, but I just don't know what it was.
Okay, but you're studying, you're putting forth effort, but you're still feeling like it's all your fault, or this is your issue. And then what do you do in those moments of anxiety? What happens?
I just start to shake, my stomach start to tumble, just had to get up, walk around, and just, I don't know, sometimes I feel like I'm scared,
Okay.
Then you just, reminiscing on what could happen, and then just call out myself out from society and just stay in my room,
Okay. So usually during those times you don't interact with people, and you feel like different kind of physical tension, your body shaking is what you mentioned, and you start to reminisce in your mind about maybe some worse times or things that could possibly happen. Okay, that sounds like the symptoms of like a panic attack, which would definitely make sense for your situation. So what I would like to engage in, knowing all of this information, is just some cognitive behavioral therapy and doing some restructuring of the mind so that we can get you through this process where you're not feeling quite as anxious about all of the other things surrounding grad school. And I know that it's difficult, and we definitely want to affirm those difficult feelings, because grad school is very, very hard, and continuing education altogether is really difficult. Can you tell me a little bit about your background? Are you married? Do you have any children?
No, I'm just a single person,
Okay.
I'm in grad school and all, focus on that first. Then maybe on down the road, hopefully I find somebody.
Okay. And then as far as your job occupation right now, what do you do for a living?
So right now I just work at this local IT place, just intern with them. Just get paid, regular pay, just IT stuff.
Okay, so it's a fairly low maintenance job, which is good because that does give you more room to study and do school. Okay, which is interesting because it's already very difficult to do grad school and to work at the same time. So it's really amazing to look at some of the things that you are accomplishing. To be able to even sit down and do grad school while working is something you should be proud of yourself for. Something that you deserve to give yourself a pat on the back for. But this is also a part of cognitive restructuring, just thinking about more of the positive things instead of focusing on the negative. So what I'm hearing from your conversation is that there is a lot of catastrophizing and it's being magnified instead of minimized. So if you get like a not so good grade on an assignment, it doesn't necessarily mean that you are going to fail grad school overall, but it feels like that because that seems to be what's frequently happening at the time. But I think we have to restructure the ways in which you are putting forth your best effort and that you can get through grad school. But we have to think about those positives too. So I'm going to take you through an exercise called the automatic thought record. Okay, so we're going to go back to one of those moments where maybe you didn't get such a good grade on a test and see what we can do to restructure that moment so that you can think about ways that when moments like that may happen again, that you would feel more calm and more at peace instead of anxious and nervous and wanting to be cut off from society and things like that. But part of this process is to get you to the overall ABC method of cognitive behavioral structuring. Okay? So the ABC method is thinking about like an event or an experience that happened. And then from there, we want to think about your thoughts about that event that would trigger your behavior. And then from there, we'd want to think about the consequence of that behavior. So we think about the event, the behavior that followed after that event, and the consequence of that behavior. So right now, what's happening is that you may think about the bad grade that you may have received on a test or a paper, and as a result, the behavior is that you're shaking, that you're wanting to be cut off from other people, and the consequence of that is that you can't focus or that you feel worried that you're not going to finish grad school or that you're not going to graduate or that you're just going to fail out altogether. So we have to work on restructuring those thoughts so that you're not feeling that anxiety or that pressure anymore moving forward, okay? But let's go into the automatic thought record. So I want you to close your eyes and think about that situation where you found out the grade that you made on that test, right? So I want you to put yourself in that moment and let your face reflect all of those emotions that you were feeling at that time, whether you were feeling sad or angry or hurt or confused maybe. Why did I get this grade and things like that? Okay. So while you're thinking that, what thoughts or images went through your mind?
Angry.
You're angry? What about the anger?
I'm just frustrated with how I did all this work and, and I come back and I get this and I feel like I just got to swing or something, or push something, or just let the anger out, just I don't know.
Okay, so you're feeling like you did all this work and it's still your fault that you're not getting a good grade?
Yeah.
Okay, so how much of that thought did you believe? From like 0 to 100%, how much do you believe that that's your fault? 100%. Okay. So how intense is that feeling of anger, 0 to 100%? 100%. Okay. Alrighty then. So as far as thinking about the grading rubric, or maybe the other factors that may have led to you not doing as well as you thought, how much of that do you believe is there? That there are other factors that may or may not have contributed to you getting a lower grade than you thought? How much of this do you believe is not your fault? Or can you believe that any of this is not your fault?
Yeah, I can't believe it's still, yeah.
Okay. So we want to work on those kind of emotions. You can open your eyes now. We want to work on getting you to a place where you can think about the ways where it isn't your fault entirely. And you have to realize that you're doing the best you can. Are you studying?
Mm-hmm.
And you're retaining the information? Have you found ways to talk to your professor, or think about extra credit or tutoring?
I mean, I'm the type of person, I really don't. I just don't go out for it, but I mean, it's something I think about doing.
Okay, so that may be a way that we can think about seeking for help, and that may change the kind of grades you may be getting.
Mm-hmm.
So one of our tasks, or one of our goals by the end of the semester, is to talk to the professor and really express ways in which you feel like maybe you could use some help, or maybe ask him to clarify, okay, what was I supposed to do here, or what needs to be different there, and we can see if that will help increase your scores, or now that you will have an idea of what the professor is specifically looking for. Is that something we can work towards?
Mm-hmm.
But then also we want to work on the anxiety, so if these grades do continue, you won't feel all of that pressure building up. So let's do a breathing exercise really quickly, okay? So I want you to do something called suggestive relaxation. So here's what we're gonna do. You said your body tends to shake, right? When you're feeling anxiety. So let's say your hand is shaking. Take your hand with me. So when your hand is shaking, it feels kind of heavy, right? So in this exercise, you're gonna say, my hand feels heavy. Ready? Repeat after me. My hand feels heavy.
My hands feel heavy.
My hand feels heavy.
My hands feel heavy.
I am at peace.
I am in peace.
And my hand feels heavy.
And my hands feel heavy.
So in coming into that kind of relaxation mode, this is you putting your body into submission, and you asking your body to relax. It's acknowledging the heaviness, it's acknowledging the shaking, but it's not letting that overpower your peace. So you have to talk to the anxiety, but you have to maintain your peace at the same time. So I'm hoping that when you feel those areas of anxiety, you can do that exercise, and you do it with each part of your body. My hand feels heavy. My head feels heavy. My head feels heavy. I am at peace, and my head feels heavy. But go through each part of your body until you feel that peace overcome you. Okay? So these are some things we're going to keep working toward as we continue to meet, and I'm hoping that they will be helpful for restructuring for you as far as your thought process when you do get those angry, anxious feelings about grad school. But how does that sound? Do you feel like this is a good treatment plan for you?
Yeah, it's the first.
Okay.
I get used to. Yeah.
Okay, definitely. Well, I'm super glad you came in today, Sean. Thank you again for your time, and I will see you next session.
No, thank you.
Alrighty, thank you.
Bye.